Tinubu created problems he can't solve. And now to the news info. The former Anambra State Chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Dan Ulasi, has said that President Bola Tinubu has created problems he cannot solve. According to Ulasi, Tinubu created the problem when he removed the fuel subsidy on his inauguration day without proper consultations and preparation. True, I agree. You didn't make any plans, you didn't make any preparations, you don't have anything to at least ease the affairs of people before you remove the first subsidy, knowing what removing it will cost. You didn't make any plans, you didn't consult anybody, you didn't tell your cabinet or whatever, you just on your own remove first subsidy, and now it has created a problem that is hard for you to solve. And it's not as if you cannot solve it. Just go back and say, okay, I'm bringing back the first subsidy, and maybe to alleviate the problems a little bit, but no, you are not doing anything. Ulasi, who disclosed this on Arise TV on Wednesday, noted that the president went further to float the naira amidst the subsidy removal, hence compounding the problems. He also used the opportunity to call for the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB), Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, stressing that his release will bring peace in the southeast region. He said it will take a magician to solve the problem created by Muhammadu Buhari in 1 year. Unfortunately, Tinubu is a member of Buhari's party. Nigerians are hungry. Whatever he is doing should be done fast. Thank you, sir. Whatever you are doing that you want to make to alleviate the problems that we are facing through, do it fast, because time is going. People are hungry. People are dying. So do it fast. Speaking on the reactions to former President Olusegun Obasanjo's comments by aides of President Tinubu, he said they would have ignored Obasanjo, at least make use of some things that he said, which are constructive. That one, Bayo Onanuga can never do that. Bayo Onanuga will ignore. Okay? He can never ignore. He will make sure that he responds to everybody. Instead of you to at least pick one or two things from what the person has said. You don't have to agree with everything that he said, but at least there are some things that he said that made a lot of sense. And you don't have to reply him. You don't have to reply, but Bayo Onanuga, lie. He will reply, Shani. At least make use of some things that he said which are constructive. Attacking everyone who expresses an opinion about their government is not good for their administration. I don't know who is the special advisor to the president of media and publicity. Is it Bayo Onanuga, Daniel Bwala, or who? We don't know. Everybody special advisor. I would have expected that they don't just sit down in their bedrooms and write. I would have loved to see any of them on TV discussing and people asking them questions. You want to come and disgrace them? They can't have anything constructive to say now. They're going to definitely disgrace themselves on national TV. It is one thing to write something when nobody has asked questions. I would really love to see any of them coming out on TV making policy statements on behalf of the president, and questions will be asked so that we can really see where they are coming from. Speaking further, I said it is difficult at this point to really understand where Buhari was coming from or where he was going, because my concern, like I always say, is that the 8 years of Buhari was a tragedy for Nigeria, a real tragedy. There was no governance. The thought of carryover of what happened a few months ago about demonstrations on bad governance from hunger, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, people were demonstrating that they were hungry in the land of plenty. Tinubu won't escape it because it is his party, and he made one unfortunate statement when he was campaigning that he will continue with the good works of Buhari. Indirectly, he will continue with every bad thing that he's doing, because Buhari didn't do any good work. Everything that he did was turning Nigeria upside down, and you said you were going to continue where he stopped, and you are making good to your promise, as in you are fulfilling the promise. You have turned Nigeria upside down. People are hungry. Everywhere is scattered, is in a disarray. So he actually said he would do it, and he's doing it. I don't know what the good works of Buhari are. He has to bear the responsibility of the comments people make. Such comments, coming from highly placed decent citizens, must be such that they won't create more problems than the ones we are trying to solve. You can see that there are lots of killings, kidnapping everywhere. So there will be anger. If people listen to Obasanjo, sometimes silence is golden. I don't know how many people travel on Nigeria roads anymore. If I say something, people might not take me very seriously. But if Obasanjo says that as a former president, military head of state, and a civilian president, it is a very, very serious matter. We know that the situation is very bad, but we can try to tailor it to a moderation that will not make people feel frustrated and tends towards violence. Speaking on the attack on article by President presidential aide, he said it's easy for someone who is not in the system to write a memo. If you remember, if there's anybody who should defend Atiku, I should defend him. I was the director of his campaign in the Southeast in the last election. He is a brilliant, patriotic Nigerian. But the situation we find ourselves in is so complicated that it is not a function of statistics anymore. This is the only country where 1 plus 1 is not 2. Now so. 1 plus 1 is not 2 in this country. In recent times, at least, Atiku Abubakar has started making comments, and unfortunately, they are responding in a way that is unfounded, unpatriotic, bordering on hate, because I didn't say anything that Atiku said that was against them. He was talking about the interest of this country, how they have managed the economy, whether well or not. I should have expected that they would itemize what he said and try to convince us otherwise. You don't go to town running down everybody because you are in government. Tomorrow you'll be out of government and people will treat you the same way. We have fundamental problems of economy, security, and if I were to advise Tinubu, I'll tell him to release Nnamdi Kanu, because the two major problems we have in this country are security and economy. Yes, so security is a really, really big problem in our country. Yesterday, I saw some terrorists flaunting money on Instagram. I think I said it on Instagram. Flaunting money, they must have kidnapped people, collected ransom, and they were videoing themselves, putting it on TikTok, putting it on Instagram. Meanwhile, we have police, we have DSS, we have EFCC. With their phones, you should be able to trace them to their location. But no, they will not be able to trace them. They will say, oh, they don't know where they are. They don't know where they are. But if it is a normal citizens now that insulted Tinubu online, or insulted the police force, or insulted any of them in power, they will know the way to that person's house and they will go and arrest that person. But these people are online, flaunting money that they collected from kidnapping somebody. And yes, nothing has been done about it. So security is a very, very big problem in our country, and the economic situation of our country, it has gone from bad to worse. Everything is upside down. People are hungry, people are angry. There's nothing, people are just struggling to survive. A whole lot of people are just trying to survive, because Nigerians, we have this resilient spirit. That is why people, you are not seeing people dying on the road. People are hungry. People are really, really hungry, and it has gotten really bad. And Mr. President should do something about it, and also listen to the advice of releasing Nnamdi Kanu, because God forbid if anything happens to that man in DSS custody, I pray we don't see war again in this country, because war is not a good thing. They really need to release that man and let him go. Let him go. He has done nothing wrong. He was only fighting for his people. So let him go. If he releases Nnamdi Kanu, at least one zone in this country will have 90% peace. It might overflow to other zones in the country. There are risks that we have to take now to see if we can make this country any better than it is now. Yes, so let them do it though, and release that man. Nachi Christopher says he didn't expect it to look like this. Brainless politician. Prince Olorunfunmi Shafi says one problem with this government is that they harbor criticism with passion. They have forgotten that even in the advanced country, that government accepts criticism to thrive even while performing in government. Unlike the present ones we have in Nigeria, that clueless and directionless, a life without criticism is not worth living. I'm telling you, they cannot take criticism. If you talk back at them, they either arrest you or do something to punish you. So they cannot take criticism, and it is really bad. Really, really bad. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.